And then some people say you can count a kid as a 10th if they're holding a prayer book. But we could count Juliet regardless because she is of bat mitzvah age, which even though she hasn't had her bat mitzvah ceremony yet, you take the leniency. So that's kind of how we do it. So we're good. And so it's yeah, the 2012 though. While we're so is it anybody's bar mitzvah week? Is it what's happening in the calendar there on that little bulletin? Eli, go ahead and why don't you? It's history. Let's read it now.
Like I handed you this.
Oh, you did. You handed it to me.
Right
Oh,
there.
sorry. Oh, sorry. Now I have two here. Okay, so it is from April 2012. It's Passover. Jenna Tessler is reading Torah. The whole Tessler family is reading Torah. So the only thing, let's see. So there's a blood drive and a bone marrow drive. Ken Cohen is teaching a lecture on Talmud.
We've got bone marrow drive now too.
We are.
We are.
But you have to go at 35.
There's a rock and roll Shabbat
There you go.
on April 20th, and there will be another one we're restarting it this year, we're doing one anyway. Walk Against Genocide at Lake Merritt. This was the Darfurian genocide in particular that was going on at the time. See, you can tell so much from, and it's already over a decade ago, right? That's a real treasure. We have an all East Bay Women's Torah study. Okay, this one, Carolyn, I have a picture of me and you from this night, and Matthew actually too, but I have one of me, you, and Bella. The auction is Saturday Night Fever Spring Social, and we're all in our disco, and there's a picture, there's a great picture of the two of you, but there's also one of myself, you, and Bella, so short little me, and these two very tall blonde women decked out in disco. It's fantastic. And it's Charles and Harriet Feltman's anniversary. And let's see. Paula Silver had died within the month. So had Shirley Pearl. This is what I normally do for the sermon here, but I'm just having so much fun this while we're waiting for people. I'm going to tell you about them in just a second. And that's probably enough of all the amazing things that are happening. But, okay, just so you know, Paula Silver and Shirley Pearl. Paula was a Holocaust survivor. Her son, Alan Silver, is the BBOI advisor and still a very active member. Paula, just an incredible woman. She also worked at the Sunshine Biscuit Company. That's who made Hydrox and Saltines. But she, a Holocaust survivor, and has an amazing story. Shirley Pearl was one of the real characters. Susan is smiling. Just you say her name, and you think of it. Think of her. Her maiden name was Shirley Darling, which was also her stage name. She was an actress, and she was a chorus girl in all those movies where the chorus girls were not credited in like the 40s and 50s. She was in a few movies with Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn was her bud. She dressed like a Hollywood starlet from that era. Like the long fake eyelashes and glitter. What about her hair?
No, the hat, the sequined hats.
She also wore sequined hats. And she talked like this. And
you mean like that?
Yeah.
And she carried her jewelry everywhere with her in her bag. She never let it out of her sight.
She also, this, I probably shouldn't tell this. I should probably turn off live streaming. She didn't trust the bank. She never owned property. In Alameda, she put the money under her mattress. When she died, she didn't have a penny to her name, or so we thought. And so the synagogue and the funeral home gave her basically a free funeral, and then $30,000 was found in her mattress, and it ended up at the synagogue. So as a donation. Yeah. So anyway, Shirley Darling Pearl, and she died this month in 2012. So I had a letter to read. I still will, but this was even more fun for me. How much history in just a little bulletin. For those who didn't come at the beginning, Eli found this bulletin in his Sim Shalom prayer book. And
Where it's probably been sitting since 2000.
I'm sure it has. So I'm very psyched about that. Okay, anyway. Fun stuff. Okay. We are going to begin. The service is actually first of all, you have this book, Sim Shalom, and the service is abbreviated slightly because the idea is you've been in service a lot, so you do an abbreviated Kabbalat Shabbat that actually starts with Lecha Dodi on page 262. No, I'm sorry. No, sorry. It doesn't do Lecha Dodi. It skips Lecha Dodi rather. It starts with Mizmor Shir on page 266. So if you came for Lecha Dodi, I'm sorry.
Oh, well, then.
Yeah, exactly. 266. Mizmor Shir leYom HaShabbat Tov le'odot le'Adonai U'lezamer l'Shimcha Elyon U'lezamer l'Shimcha Elyon Le'hagir b'boker Chasdecha Ve'emunatcha b'Aleinu Continue on our own. The righteous shall flourish like a palm tree. Tzadik Tamar Yifra Ka'erez Balvanon Yizgeh Shetulim Beveit Adonatro Eloheinu Yahafrihu Od Yenuvun Beseva Deshenim Berananim Yehu Leha Ki Yashar Adonai Tzuri Velo Avasavo Adonai Malach Yod Lavesh Adonai Azita Zar Aftikon Tevel Ba'altimo Nachon Kisacha Me'az Malamata Nasuderot Adonai Nasuderot Kolam Nasuderot Ogyam Ikolot Mayim Rabim Adirim Mishmeream Adir Baharom Adonai Erotecha Nemnu Me'od Le'Zeh Hanavam Kodesh Adonai Le'orech Yamim 279, we rise for the Baruch Hu. We're going to do a few high holiday tunes as we go through it. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed Mevisir Brachatan Elolam Asher Bivro Mari Varavim El Chai V'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Alin Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Hariv Aravim Avat Olam Beit Yisrael Kihem Chayenu Ve'arech Yameinu V'hem Neke Yomam V'Layla Ve'avadcha al tasir B'minu le'olamim Baruch Atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael 284 Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha V'chol levecha V'chol nafshecha V'chol me'odecha Ve'hayu advarim ha'ele Asher anuchi metzavecha Hayom al levavecha V'shinantam levanecha V'dibarta ba'am Uvlechtecha derech Uv'shokvecha Uv'kumecha Uv'shartam le'o al yadecha Ve'hayu l'totafo b'neinecha Uv'tavtam al mizzo beitecha Uv'isharecha V'man tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai V'tem kedoshim lo'echem Ani Adonai lo'echem Asher hotzeiti etchem eretz Mitzrayim Liot lachem Elohim Ani Adonai lo'echem Emet Adonai lo'echem Emet On two, actually, let's read the English responsive on 288. I like this one. We tell of your love in the morning. We recall your faithfulness at night. We remember other mornings, other nights. We celebrate miracles of our people's past, deliverance from peril into promised land.
Destruction, questions born from ashes and undelivered.
In spite of your silence, we reaffirm hope, sustained by the certainty born of faith.
Lamentation and bitter weeping have been ours, refusing to be comforted by those who are in mourning.
Yet we shall survive to sing, to flourish, to turn our mourning into gladness.
In spite of every obstacle we shall endure, nurturing our children to overcome despair.
In spite of every obstacle we shall praise, sustained by your promise of redemption.
Our people have survived the sword, finding favor even in the wilderness.
Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy, for you redeem our lives from destruction.
Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy, embraced by love and faithfulness forever.
290. Malchuto bratzum k'dolehem, Moshe v'nei Yisrael chanu shira b'simcha raba, ve'amru kulam. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha levam ha'kodesh, Noah tehilo osef eleh, malchutecha ra'u v'necha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe, ze'eli anu ve'amru, Adonai imloch ve'olam va'ed. Kivrayt Yaakov. Yom Echad Chazak B'Meinu Baruch Ata Adonai Ka'al Yisrael Ashkereinu L'Shalom. Next Friday night it'll be Sukkot, so we're gonna get ready for that too. The song about the Sukkah of Peace, which is inside the Hashkivenu. Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shalom Etav Yad Olam Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha Baruch Ata Adonai Haparei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Amo Yisrael Ve'al Yerushalayim. Please rise from the Shamru. Shamru B'nei Yisrael remain standing. Yit gadal v'hikadash me'rama v'alma divrach v'rute v'amlich malchute v'chayechon u'vyomechon v'chercho ben Yisrael v'agalav izman krivim eru Amen. Yehi shmei rabba v'gorach v'olam u'le'al me'omaya Barak, Vishtabach, Vipar, Vitromam, Vitnase, Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalash, Medikudeshabarim, La Mikro, Berchakavishirata, Chushbechata, Benechemata, Ramiran, Be'ama, Bimeru, private Amidah, 296 through 302. The whole reason we're using this book, see where it says on Shabbat before Yom Kippur? Add that. Sefer Chaim Beracha V'Shalom U'Farnasa Tova Nizacher V'Nikater Lefanecha Anachnu V'Chol Hamcha Beit Yisrael L'chaim Tovim L'chaim Tovim U'L'Shalom Baruch Atah Adonai Oseh HaShalom. All right, we do we skip my band to feel? I don't have my see. I think we actually do it. If I can find this copy here. 1 second. Sorry about that. Yes, we do. We do Vayachulu. So, Paul, come on up. And stop at Kaddish Shalem because our 4th, 6th, 7th graders tonight are going to do Kaddish Shalem. You know, there's an extra word added. I'll help with that one.
Vayachulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzavam ויכל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים, אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, אל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, קונה שמיים וארץ, המגן אבות בדברו, המלך חיי מתים במאמרו, האל הגדול שאין כמוהו, המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו, כי בם רצה להניח להם, כי בם רצה להניח להם, לפניו נעבוד ביראה ופחד, ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד מעין הברכות. אל ההודעות אדון השלום, מקדש השבת ומברך שבי, ומניח בקדושה ויעמדו שני עוני, זכר למעשה בראשית. אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, רצה במנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך ותן חלקנו בתורתך, סבנו מטובך ושמחנו בישועתך, וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת. והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה וברצון שבת קודשך, וינוחו בישראל מקדשי שמך, ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
All right, Eleanor, Daphne, Juliet, Ethan, come on up. All four of you.
There aren't enough for there to be 2 rows of them. They can probably all.
I know, they can all fit in one.
Come on. There's no microphone. Don't panic.
Amen. Marty verachter te wilmich machlute, v'chayechon of yom echon ufchayitecho be'Yisrael. Bagala u'izman karimeru.
Amen. Yehei Rabba Mevora, Ve'olam Olam Maya Yitzorach.
V'barach v'shtabach v'pa'ar v'shomam v'naseh. V'chadar v'chalei v'chalash v'kedisha.
V'richu Eila le'Eila mikol berchata v'shirata.
Tishbechata v'nechamata da'aviram v'alavim miru.
Amen.
Tikabal zlotan v'lotan d'chol Yisrael. Kodam v'chon d'ishmai v'imiru.
Amen.
Yehei shmon yishmei radas.
Amen.
Say shalom Rav.
Say shalom. Amen. Israel.
Different font.
Oh yeah, so not the book they used to, and they, and then, the whole Layla thing.
Yeah.
Nice leadership. Seventh graders. All right, so I have a letter today from October of 1966 from the executive director, Jerry Danzig, to Leslie Kessler, who's not the president, but he was involved in the business as well as he might have been the president of the Federation at this time. It's unclear. His family, the Kesslers, still belong here. You know, his son Randy and his grandson Drew.
Were you born in 66?
I was born. I'd been alive for a month and a half at this point.
I wasn't born.
You were not born. I was born on September 6th. This is October 27th. All right, so dear Les, I drafted the enclosed as a more detailed description of the rabbi's idea for a cooperative unit, and I don't have the enclosed, unfortunately, of the rabbi's idea for a cooperative unit by which both temples could benefit as adjacent neighbors. A meeting of the rabbis, executive directors, presidents, and 2 representatives is being arranged. It is our desire to present this tentative proposal to the representatives of Sinai. This draft is to indicate the theoretical feasibility of such a venture and to present the many benefits to both temples which this proposal suggests. Please read this carefully. If you have any suggestions regarding this draft, I would appreciate hearing from you. There are probably many legal implications of this proposal, many of which I am certain you can anticipate. If, for example, a question is raised of dissolving the partnership after construction, what are some of the legal procedures to execute such a decision? If this meeting will be held, we would like to be thoroughly prepared since the nature of this proposal is rather unique and revolutionary. Thank you for your attention. Cordially, Jerry Danzig, Executive Director. So what I believe they're trying to do is they're trying to buy new property. You're in the middle of the 60s here. Although membership is still high, there's a lot of crime, unlike today. There was a lot of urban flight at this time, and a lot of the Jewish community had moved from this area to, well, a lot of them they were starting to leave to go through the tunnel, but more were going to the Oakland Hills. And so the majority of their community was now living in the Oakland Hills. So they were considering buying property together and having both synagogues on the property. They weren't going to merge, but they were talking about sharing space. And it kind of was revolutionary. Now, it's been done since then. 2 places who have done it are Charlotte, North Carolina, and Austin, Texas. There's a Reform and a Conservative synagogue on each side of a JCC in the middle. And they have some joint religious school programming and the like. And so this is what they were considering well before Austin, Texas, and Charlotte, North Carolina. But anyway.
Wasn't that the Oakland Hills
But then
Tennis
they
Club?
didn't.
I think so.
Pittsburgh has 3 congregations in one building where the shooting happened.
Right, so that's a merger of a bunch of congregations that died, and they all started using that property. They all decided to have their services in one building. So that was an intentional. Yeah, correct.
And wasn't it where the Oakland Hills Tennis Club is? That was the property I think they were looking at.
That I don't know, but I probably. And then eventually there was property that the Oakland Hebrew Day School bought.
Right.
There were a couple times that was considered for both. Sinai considered it separately from Beth Abraham as well. So anyway, yeah, but that was could have happened, but it didn't. Yeah, the JCC could have been in between, the Oakland JCC, which at the time was, I'm sure, having the same issues and eventually left. But they're building a new one.
But Sinai would have left there, like, don't they have like the oldest synagogue in the Bay Area?
After San Francisco, yeah.
Yeah.
They do.
The JCC was on Redwood, right?
Yeah, the JCC was on Redwood. It's where Redwood Day School is now. They were, yeah. I mean, Sinai. That was a big issue for them, and they're even more downtown than we are, and that was a big vote at one time that they voted to stay downtown and support the neighborhood and the city. That was a big deal for them. So yeah, all these things happen, and if you missed it, I had a lot of fun looking at the bulletin from 2012 as well, which ended up in Sim Shalom, and describing the events and the people that were in that bulletin, which is now, if it's over a decade ago, it's considered history, right? So,
So you should put this week's bulletin in there.
I know we should hide it in there, see what happens. Great idea. All right, we will continue with the Kiddush. Please rise, page 318. Baruch Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kachanu mitzvotav v'ratzav v'shabbat kodesho v'ahava uvratzon inhilanu zikaron l'ma'aseh b'reishit ki hu yom tekilah l'mikrayei kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim ki banu v'charta v'otanu ki dashta Mikol V'Shabbat Kodesh V'Ahava Uratzon Inhaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Chaim Shabbat. If you are with your children or anyone else who feel comfortable enough blessing, Yisimech Elohim Kasar Karachel Aleah, Yisimcha Elohim Kafraim V'Chim Menashe, Yivarecha Adonai V'Yishmerecha, Adonai Avelecha V'Yichunecha, Adonai Avelecha Yaseh. May God bless you and keep you. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May God lift the divine face toward you and grant you peace. And we're going to have the full Birkat Kohanim on Yom Kippur Day, so be ready. If you are a Kohen or a Levi, your participation will be needed. All right, Aleinu, page 320.
We don't do the honors, Father?
That's after the
After the
Okay.
Aleinu le'shabeach v'adon hakol
V'ateilu v'aretzer Bereshit Shalom Asanu Gdoyei Haratzot V'lo Samanu K'nishbachot Ha'adama Shelo Samchel Keinu Kahem V'kol Aleinu Kechol Hamonam V'anamu Korim U'mishamachim U'modim L'ifnei Melech Malei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shehu Notei Shamayim V'yosef Haaretz U'moshav Mikaro B'shamayim B'ma'al U'shkinatu zo V'godei Meromim Hu Eloheinu Eidod Emet Malkeinu Efezuato Kakatu V'torato V'atayom V'ashirota Elevavecha Ki Adonai Hu Elohim B'at Shamayim Mima'al Ve'al Mitachat Eino. כתוב בתורה תחניים לך לעולם ועד ונאמר בחיל אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו Be seated as we lovingly recall the memory of our departed relatives and friends as Yortzeit we observe it. During the coming week, we have some people here for Yortzeit particularly, also a few names that are very interesting and in different ways. First name on the list is Al Davis. That's the former Oakland Raiders owner who died on Yom Kippur. And the funeral was one of the highlights of my career, I'm not ashamed to say. Florence Dines, Sam Grant, Nancy Greenberg, Anna Hammerman, Harry Horwitz, Isidore Eisenberg, Matilda Kahane, May Landowitz, Sima Lison, Bernard Lutz, Abraham Maltzman, Curtis Manasseh, Edith Odenheimer, Francis Pizer, Mary Plotkin, Nathaniel Ranzer, Elizabeth Rosenberg, Gary Rosenfeld, Bertha Rosenstein, Rabbi Morris Shusheim, who is the father of Joe Budman, who's a past president of the congregation, and he was the rabbi of the congregation that merged into the congregation I served in Cranston, Rhode Island, and there was a giant portrait of him hung out right outside my office, but I didn't know his relationship to this congregation and to Joe until I moved here. Donald William Seal, Gloria Sims, Paul Stein, Irene Strongen, Mary Weinstein, Lena Zupkoff. In recent days, we remember Harvey Blatter, Stephen Schaefer Glick, Nissan Sadian, Brian Leonard Perdue, Monique Joseph. The memories have all been with us. We ask all those who are in mourning or observing Yortzeit, as well as anyone else who would choose to do so, to rise for the mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal, V'yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'alma Divrach Yerutei, V'amlich Malchutei, V'chayechon, V'yomechon, V'chayedecho Beit Yisrael, Bagala V'zman Kari V'imru, Amen. Yeheshmei Rabbah Mevorach, Le'olam L'olmei Almaya, Yit Barach, V'yishtabach, V'yit Pa'ar, V'yit Romam, V'yit Naseh, V'yit Adar, V'yit Aleh, V'yit Alal, Shemei Dekudashah, Barichu, La'ela, Min Kol Berchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechemata, Damiran V'alma V'imru, Amen. Yehesh Lama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru, Amen. Osei Shalom V'imromav, Huya Sei Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru, Amen. Zikronam Livracha, may the memory of the people you've come to say Kaddish will be a blessing to you always. Let us say, Amen. With some announcements. Tomorrow's services are at 9:30. There is a Kiddush lunch. I expect the service to be pretty short. Not that we're not eliminating anything, but my sermon's like 3 minutes. And don't worry, I'll more than make up for it on Yom Kippur. borrowing some of those minutes. And anyway, that's what I expect it to be. There is Mahjong after service as well. There is Kol Nidre is on Sunday at 6:40. It begins with the playing of the piece by the cellist and the bassist, both from our members of our congregation, Megan Chartier and Jordan Cohen. I'm not Jordan Cohen. Alden Cohen, no relation to Jordan Cohen, who will be playing. And then Yom Kippur services all day long, and the break 7:40.
So
there's a big break between like 1:30 and 4.
people go home and come back.
Yeah,
Okay.
and some people just stick around. Some people walk the lake. Some people go to a study session. There's activities. Yeah, it ends at 7:40. It's just when 3 stars are out, and it will. I promise it will end within 2 minutes of that in either direction. It could be after, but not by more than 2 minutes. Hopefully 2 minutes before. But yeah, so that will be wonderful. Then the men's club will be building the sukkah, and on 9/26 on Tuesday, WTBA decorating the sukkah.
What time?
Doesn't say. I'm not sure. Anybody know? Yeah.
It's either 9 or 9:30.
9:30.
Yeah.
I can.
Okay.
There's also, we're doing a huge Simchat Torah celebration this year. There's a DJ, there'll be Israeli dancing, the normal stuff, there'll be fireworks, yeah. There'll be chocolate bars. There's actually gonna be a candy bar, like, I don't know, like some, I don't know exactly, maybe it's an ice cream bar, but I think it's a candy bar, I don't know what it is, but anyway, it's gonna be really hopping this year, so hopefully you should come. And that's enough for now. So
you're gonna wind up all the children and then send them home with their parents.
exactly. That's what we do.
Are we gonna have a service on Friday? Or?
So services will be in here next weekend, but we'll have Kiddush in the Sukkah next Friday night. And weather permitting, we'll be eating outside as well.
So next Friday night there's a Kiddush?
Well, just that Kiddush.
Oh.
We finish the service, then we do Kiddush out in the Sukkah.
Right.
And then
Okay.
Kiddush
So
and Challah in the
food or
Sukkah.
just
And then just Kiddush and Challah. And then on Saturday, the Kiddush lunch will be out. It'll actually be outside the Sukkah, but you can bring your chair into the Sukkah and we'll do the blessings inside the
Great.
Sukkah. That's kind of how that will work. And I think that's it. So for the finishing song this week, we're doing Avett Brothers song.
which
Nobody died.
no, well, people did, but Roger Whittaker, like his top hit was number 20 in 1975, and even Eli doesn't know it. So like you know, we're not doing it.
Somebody died. Just
Yeah.
nobody in the.
No one's super famous. Oh wait, before I do that, guests. So Matthew and Caroline, you brought your friend Jay, right? And where are you visiting from?
Alameda.
Alameda. Because you're local.
Welcome.
Came across the bridge.
Yeah.
I'm visiting from
You
Atlanta.
never leave the island.
Good to have, exactly. Good to have you here. So this song, it's called "Please Pardon Yourself." All right, and so it fits in with the Yom Kippur theme because we also have to forgive ourselves and not just others, and that really is a big deal. I added some of my own. I'm not doing the whole song. I'm doing the beginning, and then I added some of my own verses, including some Hebrew, that go with the song. And I did it last year, so I don't want to waste it. I want to do it again. And it's really, it's an important message.
Okay.
Hopefully I can remember it is the thing. I did practice it, but I don't have it written down anywhere here. As I turn my head to your side of the bed, why are you awake? What's on your mind? To this awful news, try not to hold on. The day will come, the sun will rise, and we'll be fine. As long as I feel, as strong as I feel, I will carry you the best that I can. You're so hard on yourself, please pardon yourself. Do the best you can and that won't go unseen. How do I know when it's time to stop? Running from the things I've done and being things I'm not. Oh, I have tried, but I just changed my mind. Every night befalls every morning light. Adonai Slichot, oh God who forgives. In this season, will you please heed our call? Salach lanu, machal lanu. With compassion, send your pardon to us all. As we turn our heads to what we should do instead, and we try to be more generous and kind. Should you hear awful news, try to keep this in mind. The day will come, the sun will rise, we'll be fine. The day will come, the sun will rise, and we'll be fine. Shabbat Shalom. Gemar Chatzima Tova.